It is halftime in Buffalo. That means it is game time here at JWG Studios. It's normally a channel where we talk about old baseball cards. Boy, do we have old baseball cards to talk about. But since the start of the football season, we've been doing something a little different. We've been opening old football cards and talking about it. And well, we've been doing baseball cards during football games, halftime of Monday Night Football in particular. And I thought, based on the response we've had the first couple of weeks of the season, that we would branch out. We would do something a little different, a little out of the norm. And we're actually going to open football cards. I know, wild. I have not done this before. I know nothing about football cards as a hobby. I know they exist, obviously, but I didn't collect them necessarily. I was a Cleveland Browns fan growing up, and then the Browns moved away to Baltimore under the stewardship of Art Modell. Boy. And when the Browns moved, I never really had another team. Like when the new Browns came back, they weren't my team. And even though the old Browns, now the Ravens, were doing really well, they were somebody else's team. So just never really got into football at that level, and definitely did not collect the football cards. But we've got a couple of packs here. We've got 91s to go through here as we wait for halftime to end, with the Bills absolutely trouncing the Jaguars. And then we'll also wait for halftime for the Bengals and Commanders game. So 2 Monday Night Football games. I did not plan on that, so we're going to be here extra long. Hope everybody's got their beverage of choice. Maybe your halftime snack. Are you having wings? Are you having chips? What are you having? For me, I had chili cheese Fritos, king of the snacks. And we'll get into some cards. We'll give it a couple minutes here. And while we do that, we've got some baseball cards to open as well. A couple of these have a theme. I can look in the back of the Stadium Club to see who I get. Oh, yeah, you can press the packs. All right, this doesn't really help me much because I don't recognize. I'm going to guess it's a 49er, but I don't know who. I don't know which. And, you could press and maybe see through it. Is it that legible? Can't tell. Let's see. Same with the 91 tops, kind of this translucent background. Looks like a team leader's card of some kind. And then the other 91 Stadium Club. Who do we have? Can't quite make that out. I'll just look at the rookie card on the back. Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't really know at a glance who those guys are. Oh, I guess you can kind of pull away on it. Feels like cheating. We're going to save the suspense. We don't want to know who's in there before we open it. It's like some wizard business. It's not for me. All right, we'll give it a minute, and we'll do some 90 score. This is the one where we can find a 2 sports star. This is one where Bo Jackson has that iconic shoulder pads card. I do appreciate the insight into what you can do with those Stadium Club cards, but I'm not going to do it. Oh, I gave it away. So our white border card. You get one white border card in these packs. Here it's Mo or Maurice Vaughn, not our Bo Jackson. So too bad. But we did get Todd Benzinger, Eddie Murray. Here on the channel we call him Two Hats because he wears the cap under his batting helmet. We call him Two Hats. Naturally, Two Hats, Eddie Murray. Mitch Webster. Ooh, these are sticking a little bit. Not even glossy, and they're just like pressed together. Dave Henderson and his Fu Manchu mustache. Always nice to see Dave. There's hashtag Royo, Robin Yount. Nice. Teddy Higuera, another Brewer there. We talked about Mo Vaughn. I used to say I wish he had a bigger, better career, but I think he was one of those guys that just got nailed in the PED stuff. So sorry, Mo Vaughn. Harold Reynolds, loving the flip up or flip down sunglasses, depending on, I guess, if you live in the North or South Hemisphere. I don't know. But they always had that little bit of extra tape padding right there at the bridge of the nose. And having been a player that wore that kind, because I wanted to be like the major leaguers, I can confirm that they were not comfortable. Gino Petralli, Jeff Reed, nice action shot there, popping up from behind the plate. Steve Lake, another catcher. Nice. David Cohn would have been a good one to get in 1990. Randy Johnson, even better to get in 1990. Ken Daly, Jack Doherty, and Joe Oliver. Nice action photos here for some catchers in 1990 score. I did appreciate they would use the action photo when they could. They may not have had an action photo of Maurice Vaughn to go with, so he gets the portrait on the front. But generally, Score saved the portraits for the back. I appreciated that. Nice touch. All right, Randy Johnson. Hard to look cool when you're throwing 100, but I wouldn't want to make fun of the guy. Nice card. And even like David Cohn, not a Hall of Famer, but solid season there. 20-game winner the year before, 14 in 89 for the Mets, 2.22 ERA. Pretty solid season for David Cohn. All right, there's our 90 score. Let's jump into it. We've talked about the football cards. We talked about how I normally open baseball cards here on the channel, but we're going to dive in. Let's do some Stadium Club. 1991 Baseball Stadium Club, one of my all-time favorites ever. And we'll jump into some football. 12 cards on that same Kodak paper. For me personally, I'm going to see if they smell good. Oh, no wonder I couldn't quite identify. I think I was sideways. Ricky Irving. All right. So if you collected the baseball cards, for me, one of the lasting memories is the smell of the baseball cards. Oh, yeah, these have it too. Just a very distinctive kind of chemical photo processing kind of smell. Beautiful cards, a little different from baseball. Baseball, where football here is kind of this minty green. Baseball's kind of a salmon pink, but I still love this general design. Very understated, very minimalistic, but a very good use, in my opinion, of the gold foil. Tom Newberry. Tom Newberry. Don Warren. I'm going to assume this about a lot of guys, that that's Don Warren and not that. I'm pretty sure that's Don Warren. Isaac Holt. Is he one of the Holt brothers? The NFL dynasty Holt brothers. Hello, Robert. Hello, Dewey. Hello, Dan. Thank you all for joining me here at halftime. Ernest Givens. I recognize that name from Tecmo Super Bowl. That's my frame of reference for football cards in 1991. Were they in Tecmo Super Bowl? So Ernest Givens. I recognize him as the Oilers wide receiver. Robert Clark, another fast guy from Tecmo Bowl. Yeah, beautiful cards. I like the back. They do feature that Topps rookie card. Kind of minimal on the stats, though. I don't know what else you can talk about, like yards catching, yards after the catch. I think they did get more advanced with the stats, but you'd think, especially for a wide receiver, there would be more to talk about statistically than just giving a Sporting News football analysis report. It was a different time, friends. There's Nick Bell wearing a Iowa uniform. I didn't know they could put college uniforms on NFL pro level cards. All right. Okay. That's a nice picture. Action packed. Very nice. Every boy's dream, the kicker, Tommy Barnhart. And not even like a kicker with a weird shoe. There's Tommy Barnhart. Brent Jones, another Tecmo Bowl legend for the 49ers. Harris Barton, one of those no-name guys, the linemen or the tackles, I suppose, just didn't get their due in Tecmo Super Bowl. You knew the offensive skill players. You might have known your Shane Conlins, like your nose tackle types, because they could rack up all the sacks. There's Lewis Lips. Shout out Dan G, who would always play as the Steelers in Tecmo Super Bowl. My friend Dan from long ago. Bruce Hill, another wide receiver, and Ricky Irvins. We're in the Trojans uniform. Nice. I do like the appearance of college uniforms here. Looking good. Ricky Irvins. All right. Stadium Club do look beautiful. I mean, these cards, you're subject a little bit to where the gold foil hits, but when it hits right, like when it's in perfect alignment, these cards are just beautiful. Not a bad pack. 1991 Stadium Club. I might have to get more of those just for the fun of opening Stadium Club. One of my favorite brands of baseball card, and football not too different at all. Let's move over to Fleer Ultra. 14 cards here. I'm going to guess that the Fleer Ultra football cards look like the Fleer Ultra baseball cards. So you're going to have full bleed left to right, a little bit of silver metallic ink at the top and the bottom. Was Ricky Irvins a hot card in 91? All right. I'll take that. I mean, anytime you get like this pre-rookie card, thank you for the feedback. As I said, I know nothing, so I'm going to assume you guys are all being straightforward and honest with me. And not like, look what I made JWG say on his channel. Ricky Irvins. All right. So Fleer Ultra. I'm going to guess these look like the baseball cards. One thing I noticed right away, they don't mention a sticker at all. The baseball cards in 91 came with a sticker. 91 Fleer football. No such claim. Let's see what we've got in here. They do look just like baseball. Hey, Tom Rathman. Michael Irvin. I think I've heard of that guy before. Not a rookie, alas, but still. Michael Irvin, a name I recognize. I recognize Reggie Langhorne as one of the legacy Browns. Oh. So maybe it was the length of his last name, but kind of awkward quality control there. Michael Irvin, wide receiver, fits on the card. Reggie Langhorne, and then wide receivers like falling off to the right. Disappointing. Reggie Langhorne. I wonder if that's truly a miscut, or if every card of Reggie Langhorne has that error. Tony Carpenter, hello. Thank you for joining us. We're opening football cards for the first time really on the channel, and I'm wondering if this weird print alignment here for Reggie Langhorne is a defect, or if all Reggie Langhorne cards are like that because his name is kind of long. Maybe we'll find out. Tom Hodson, Cleveland Gary, a name that always seemed backwards to me. Your name should be Gary Cleveland, not Cleveland Gary. Mike Merriweather, traded Ron Stallworth, pictured in a Jets uniform, but they say he's a Chief. Great googly moogly. I guess, okay. So you do have some stats, like even a defensive player has some statistics. Reggie Cobb and running back, John Offerdahl and linebacker, Terry Wooden, the Fridge, William Perry. Everybody knows the Fridge. And then I bet if we look at his stats, like he would be pretty normal by 6'2", 330. You know, in 2024, that's just like a fat guy. It's not even a guy necessarily worthy of the nickname refrigerator when you're 6'2" and only 330. Sterling Sharp. They fit Sterling Sharp's full name and his position on the card. They got him some stats: yards, average, his longest, how many touchdowns. Why couldn't you do that, Topps, with Stadium Club? Gary Clark and Herschel Walker with the Vikings. How about that? So some names here I do recognize. Oh, thank you for confirming that Reggie Langhorne is a miscut. To review, where'd he go? Reggie Langhorne. Yeah, everything, like the top part seems like it's kind of centered. It doesn't look like it's necessarily super far to the right. Definitely his name doesn't seem super far to the right. But that R in receiver, miscut. Rough go for Reggie Langhorne. All right, let's move on to the flagship Topps. You get a special 1,000-yard club glossy card in the pack. Can we kind of see in here who the back card is? I'm going to guess it's some kind of team leader card. maybe did they make manager cards? Did they make coach cards for football like they did managers in baseball? Well, this is a familiar looking design. So, I mean, this 1,000-yard club, Ernest Biner, speaking of former Browns, good for Ernest Biner. There's our glossy insert, Ernest Biner. But then the football cards themselves, and I think this was kind of something the Topps did not every year, but often enough. They look 91 football looks like 91 baseball. Very similar with this kind of horizontal lines there behind the name. That's a weird Rams logo. I can't remember having seen that before. But this overall design looks a lot like the baseball card. There's Cleveland Gary again. So we call that a doubleheader where we get the same player out of two different packs. We had Cleveland Gary out of our Ultra a moment ago, and now we just got it out of Topps. Eugene Marv? I don't know. Marcus Allen. That's a name I know, and I know that's Marcus Allen, number 32. Kyle Clifton, middle linebacker. So the linebackers just get like a little, all right, so they do give a little shout out to his stats, 160 tackles, 99 solo in 85. So a little bit of bio information, all right. Leroy Horde, number 33 for your Cleveland Browns. I think it was a Leroy Horde jersey. It might have been Kevin Mack. It might have been Brian Brennan. But shortly after the Browns moved to Baltimore, a couple of friends went with me to an Orioles game, and we all wore Browns jerseys. And it was fun. The amount of conversations we got started from people saying, hey, we didn't want to get a football team this way. We're sorry. From folks in Baltimore that knew what it was like to have your team moved out from under you. It was a good game. Good day. Leroy Horde, number 33 for your Cleveland Browns. And the pads are enormous. Just ridiculous. Thomas Everett. You got a super rookie. That's a nice design. Rob Moore. Looking good. Jamie Mueller. William Roberts at guard. Scott Steven, your outside linebacker. Gerard Bunch, 91 draft pick for your New York Football Giants. From if you're from Ohio, they call that the team up north. Aaron Wallace, Raymond Claiborne. I don't remember him as a Brown. Sorry, Ray. Dwayne Bickett. Didn't we have Dwayne Bickett again? That might be we might have had Dwayne Bickett from another pack. And a nice horizontal layout done properly here. Pete is hunted by a bear. It's a cool card. All right. So like an inaction, good excuse for Detroit Lions team leaders. There you go. Barry Sanders, your team leader in rushing. Nice to see. Chris Spielman, your leader in tackles, 108. All right. There's our flagship Topps from 1991. And let's do a second pack of 91 Stadium Club. We'll save the remainder. I've got 3 more packs of football cards, and we'll do those as we hit halftime of the Commanders-Bengals game. I want to give them something too, people that might tune in who were watching that game. So we got another pack of 91 Stadium Club, and who did we think we saw here? Unclear. Can't quite tell, and I wouldn't want the spoiler anyway. In fact, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to shield myself from being able to see who's on the back. And there's Stan Thomas wearing a Shrine Game jersey. That's cool. Brian Hinkle, Brian with a Y, Hinkle, your outside linebacker. Oh, I got to look on the back. I forgot about Cardception. It's true for football as well. Cardception is where the rookie card on the back is also the card on the front. So fingers crossed. Ethan Horton. These are going every which way. Eric Martin. Brett Maxey. I like that depth of field, really focusing on number 39 here. While the players in the foreground are kind of blurred out a little bit. I like that a lot. Nice photography from Stadium Club. There's Jeff Lagaman? I'm going to guess Lagaman. Feel free to correct me in the comments. Oh, how about this? There's the coach, Jim Harbaugh. Speaking of that team up north, Jim Harbaugh, under center for your Chicago Bears. John Carney. Jim, don't call me Chris Everett. If you know, you know. And if you don't, put in the comments, Jim, don't call me Chris Everett. Happy to explain that one. John Stevens. Got to assume that that's John Stevens because that guy's last name is Porter. Dennis Byrd. And Pepper Johnson, defensive legend Pepper Johnson. All right, we're going to take a look at the back of this pack for Cardception, where that rookie card is the Stadium Club card we just looked at. There's some 91 tops. A lot of 91 tops here. I wonder if Stadium Club football had the technology to have Cardception. Maybe it's just too sophisticated a concept. Just too futuristic for Stadium Club. We'll take a look at pack 1 that we opened at the start of the program. That's, what year is that? 85 tops. I would love to get my hands on 85 tops to open. Cost prohibitive, very expensive. All right, no Cardception. Mr. Blood Vessel, I did not run out of baseball cards. I may never run out of baseball cards. Knock wood. I've got some. We're just having a little, it's football. It's halftime. I wanted to acknowledge that it's football, that it's halftime, and open some football cards. So we just did a couple of packs from 1991. We did a pack of flagship tops featuring an Ernest Biner 1,000-yard club rusher. We did 2 packs of Stadium Club football that look on the front a lot like your baseball, very similar layout, except where these have, as I mentioned before, kind of the celadon or minty green. Baseball had the pink, the salmon pink. Brett Favre has Cardception. I hope I get a Brett Favre out of this one. That would be awesome. Yeah, disappointing. No stats. No stats. Strengths and comments. You can do better. Come on. So I'm gonna give Stadium Club not a thumbs down, but definitely thumbs neutral, because at least the good people of Fleer Ultra were able to put some kind of statistics on the back of a card, even for a guy like the Fridge, William Perry, who again in today's game would be considered, I don't know, underweight, too short. No, we've got football. We've got baseball as well. A couple of these baseball packs I chose because they have 2 sports stars. So you can get the Bo Jackson shoulder pads card out of 1990 score. In 92 Upper Deck, there's the multiple exposure one that has Deion Sanders moving from baseball uniform into football, or vice versa. I can't quite remember. We've got 87 tops where we can find the Bo Jackson rookie card. 91 scores got Bo Jackson Rifleman. 87 Donruss has a Bo Jackson rookie in it. 87 Fleer solo pack for 87 Fleer. They've got a Bo Jackson rookie in there. So no, we haven't run out of baseball cards. We're just having a little variety. And thank you for joining us. We are about 20 minutes into the action here, opening packs. We'll get through halftime of the Bills-Jaguars game, even though that outcome is pretty well decided from what I can see. And we'll get through halftime as well for the Commanders versus the Bengals. And we'll be opening cards all the while. Let's go ahead and do 91 score, Series 1. Thank you for the compliment about the stream. I did upgrade the camera. The previous camera version was not good at autofocus. This one's a little better, a little jumpy, but the other one just, it was a nightmare and frankly embarrassing. So nice to be here, nice to be seen, and nice to see everybody in focus as well. Chris Bosio leads off our pack of 91 score. Willie Blair, Francisco Cabrera, Dana Keeker, Joe Gray, Rosario Rodriguez. So much power behind that delivery. Ooh. Our first round draft pick card, Tom Nevers. Wade Boggs is our big head all-star. Very much alive, by the way, Wade Boggs. Mike Morgan. Edgar Martinez. Nice card there for Edgar. Not his rookie card, not even his first score card, but still nice to see. Edgar Martinez. There's Sammy Sosa in a horizontal or a landscape layout done right. That's a print defect, not an error. I'm not going to try to list this for $1,000 on eBay. There's Jeff King for you Pirates fans. World Series trivia all the way back to 1914. I'm going to say no thanks. Dave Stewart, though, lethal right around 1991. Just lights out. A campaign there, 4 consecutive years with 20 wins for the Athletics. 2.5 ERA in 1990. Just unbelievable. And especially, having been in the league almost 10 years before that really hit, to start in 78 with the Dodgers and continue pitching as well as he did until finally, I don't know what clicked, but something did, obviously, for Dave Stewart in the late 80s, early 90s. Love that. Maybe it's just home cooking. I noticed there that he's born in Oakland. Maybe it took coming home for him to really take off. We also have the gambler, Kenny Rogers. Where's my focus? I just lauded the autofocus. Where is it? There we go. Kenny Rogers, Rick Aguilera and his beard, and then Gracie, Mark Grace. Nice card. There we go. From Winston-Salem. I did not know that. There you go. Mark Grace, Winston-Salem, North Carolina native. There's our 1 pack of 91 score. So much more of that to go. Let's do 1990 score. We'll take another look for that Bo Jackson shoulder pads card. Mr. Bloodvessel asks, can we congratulate the 2024 Chicago White Sox? Have they set the record, the modern record for most losses? I know they were at 120 last I looked after that heartbreaker. Well, depending on what side of the field you were on, that come from behind win by the Padres to put the White Sox into that awful company. Yeah, great job, White Sox. Keep playing. Play out the string. There's Scott Fletcher, Darnell Coles, Tommy Gregg, Scott Bradley, Mike Gallego, Rick Honeycutt, our MVP for the American League 1979. American League 1979 MVP. I'll put that aside. Pop your guesses into the chat. There's Wade Boggs again, a highlight card here for his 200th hit, his 7th consecutive season with 200 hits. And there you go. Randy Velarde, Drew Hall, Tim Leary, Dave Clark, Rick Cerrone. Nice action shot there. Mark Gubel, Lester Lancaster, Jimmy Key, and Chuck Carey. I want to take a look at Jimmy Key's stats. I remember him just being pretty good as well, especially playing for a team as bad as the Blue Jays were for a decade. There you go. Jimmy Key in our 1990 score. Let's do a 92 upper deck. Now, you can get a Bo Jackson card in here. You can get a regular Deion Sanders in here. But the one we're after is the Deion Sanders short print, where it's a multiple exposure card of him kind of morphing from a baseball uniform into football. Maybe it's vice versa. I can't quite remember. There's Junior, most exciting player. Not going to argue with that. Mike Messina, Moose. Very good card for Moose. Milt Kyler. Ellis Burks. Zane Smith. Bob Welch. Great job upper deck with your photo editor selection. A kid poking his face between Bob Welch's knees. You don't see that on the back of a baseball card every day. Speaking of dominant guys, Bob Welch won 27 games for the A's in 1990. sub-3 ERA. Great season for Bob Welch. Bruce Ruffin, Mike Henneman, Jack Armstrong, best name for a pitcher, this side of Bob Walk. Here's Joe Carter. Hi, Joe. Dave Magadan at first base. He's got a little bit of hashtag weird eyes. That's where a player's eyes have unexpectedly strong contrast between the whites and the iris of the pupils. Just that doesn't quite seem normal for having the bill of a hat and sunglasses shading his eyes. Doesn't quite look right. Do I have a favorite release from the Junk Wax era? I do. 91 Stadium Club Baseball is my favorite. I love 89 Upper Deck. I just can't afford it. Mike Gallego going in horizontal there. There's Mike Gallego from 92 Upper Deck. Kenny Lofton with the Astros. Nice star rookie designation there. He actually did go on, arguably Hall of Famer based on his career stats with the Indians, with the Braves. Some small numbers with the Astros, but man, can't argue with the career of Kenny Lofton. Our prospect checklist. Okay. And we wrap up. There's Tom Foley. Other favorites. I still think 87 Fleer is a favorite. Also 88, believe it or not, but just because they were very difficult to find in the town where I was growing up. I could find tops at every corner drugstore. Wax packs, rack packs, jumbo packs, they were everywhere. Donruss was a little more challenging, but in 87, I could not find Fleer anywhere. And I was disappointed because I wanted that Will Clark rookie card. So let's rip some 87 Fleer out of this cello pack and see what we get. We're looking for the Bo Jackson. And if we see Vince Coleman, 99.9% of the time, Bo Jackson is behind Vince Coleman. Yeah, you can get a Bonds, you can get Bo Jackson. I've got some sequencing down for how these things go. Actually, let me take a look at that. Yeah, we'll give a little sneak peek on the phone here. Oh, that's not it. That's the one. That's got the list. That's the order as I've opened packs of 87 Fleer, how I find them. So Jim Rice and Tony Gwynn are back-to-back. Roger Clemens is behind Tony Armas. Dave Winfield and Robin Yount are usually back-to-back. Ricky Henderson, Eric Davis, so kind of calling out where some star guys go. If you've got Steve Carlton or Scott McGregor on the top of the pack, odds are very good you're going to get the Will Clark and the Barry Bonds because, 95% of the time when I've opened these packs, it goes in order. Will Clark, Frank Viola, Harry Spillman, Barry Bonds. So very easy to do the sequencing for 87 Fleer. Danny Cox, Chuck Finley, Dennis Lamp. I love Lamp's mustache. Chance with Collectible says, any big pulls yet? We've opened some football cards. Well, we got a Kenny Lofton, star rookie. We've got some nice stars in our football packs, but I wouldn't say anything is a major pull yet. Still working, though. Pedro Guerrero, Lloyd Mosby, Steve Sachs, Jose Oquendo, Greg Harris, Tom Foley, the immortal Phil Necro, Andy McGaffigan, Kelly Gruber, Terry Harper, Jeff Stone, Jim Sundberg, and the kid, Gary Carter. Yeah, so big pulls. I mean, it's all relative, right? This is junk wax baseball. There aren't going to be massive superstars in here. There are Canadian teams for your stickers. Nice get there. Tigers with our other sticker. Clint Hurdle, Dale Mohorchik, Andre Scalaraga, Ernie Camacho, Floyd Humans, Max Venable, Bruce Benedict, Milt Thompson, Dan Quisenberry, Sid Fernandez, Jerry Hairston, nice shades, Jerry, Joe Price, Pat Perry, Tom Brookins, another great mustache, and Ron Oster in our 87 Fleer. So Gary Carter, Hall of Famer, not a massive hit. We did find a weird miscut. We're just going to review Fleer Ultra. Very similar layout to the baseball. Left to right, full bleed photos with the metallic silver ink at the top and the bottom. And poor Reggie Langhorne had his position cut off his card. There you go. Great checklist in 87 Fleer. Just didn't hit it in this one. Let's do another 90 score. We're in pursuit. So football is the theme here, even though it's a baseball focused channel, because we're doing halftime of Monday Night Football. We're after Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, maybe Brian Jordan, another two-sport star. We got Willie Wilson, Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball. Nice one out of 90 score. Richard Dotson, our National League MVP from 1963. There's Greg Blosser, Terry Leach from the Dan Quisenberry School of Sidearm, Chris James, Manny Lee, Tim Belcher, Carmelo Martinez, Kirk McCaskill, Lonnie Smith, Kent Herbeck, Steve Bedrosian, without a beard. Alarming. Todd Zeal, rookie prospect, nice one to get back in 1990. Matt Marullo, I probably still would have put that one in a binder as well because I didn't know better, and anything that had like this rookie designation to me was automatic money in the bank as far as I was concerned. So Greg Blosser would have made it to the binder too. Sean Holman, all of those guys, straight to the binder. Yep, looking for the shoulder pad Bo here in 1990. Unfortunately, not in that pack. What can you do? Let's do 87 tops. We've got Bo Jackson in here, along with Barry Bonds, Barry Larkin, Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Will Clark, others. 17 bubblegum cards. If you are subscribed to the channel, you know, or you should know, that the cards themselves are not printed on bubblegum. They are printed on cardstock. Do not try to chew 1987 tops cards. Here's the gum. I'm not putting that in my mouth. A couple of weeks ago, I did. I got cocky and put a stick of gum in my mouth from O-Pee-Chee, and it immediately turned into clumpy powder, and it was foul, absolutely gross, and made me nauseous for hours afterward. We got Mike Schmidt, Michael Jack Schmidt, the pride of Dayton, Ohio. Yep, born in Dayton, arguably the best hitter to come out of Dayton. Who do you think might be the best pitcher to come out of Dayton, Ohio? Pop that in the comments. I know who my opinion is. Ooh, if I get a Bo Jackson, I got to eat the gum. That's a devil's bargain. That is a devil's bargain. I don't know if I can. No, I can't do it. Mike Schmidt, Tommy Lasorda, Carmen Castillo, Danny Cox, Ben Ogilvy, Dave Stapleton, Chris Spire, Ron Oster. There's Ron Oster again. We just had him in our 87 Fleer. Is it? Do we count this as a double header when we're opening like 1 million packs? The odds go up the more packs we open. If it had just been 87 Fleer and 87 tops, definitely would have counted, but I can't let him have it this time. Sorry. Jimmy Williams, another manager card, every boy's dream. Andre Scalaraga, Brett Butler, the engine of that Indians offense. Jeff Stone, we had him in the 87 Fleer as well. Mike Flanagan, Bob Ojeda, Angels leaders. There's Mike Witt. A checklist. I'm not going to put you guys through that. We're not going to read all the names. And Ernie Whitt. That's right. Roger Clemens, best pitcher from Dayton. You think, for as Texan as he is, in his attitude, in his presentation, in his everything, you'd think that Roger Clemens was a native Texan. Guess what? He's not. He's from Dayton, Ohio. And we're at halftime as well of the Commanders-Bengals game. So we'll put a couple more packs of baseball cards off to the side, and we will open 3 more packs from 2 from 1991 and 1 from 1989. So we'll put that one off to the side. Let's do 91 Upper Deck. Thanks to everybody who's joining from halftime of the Commanders-Bengals game, as well as those of you who may still be sticking around from halftime of the Bills-Jaguars game. I don't know why anybody would be in a hurry to get back to the Bills game, considering it looked like the outcome was pretty well decided already. There we go. For these Upper Deck packs, I'm fussing around for scissors. I don't want to ruin the cards by trying to really straining to pull this foil apart. All right, I was told with these packs to look out for holograms, so I will. Craig Hayward, Ironhead, I know him. If you're also just joining us, the extent of my football card knowledge about 1991 is limited to players who were either really good on defense or on offense from Tecmo Super Bowl for the original Nintendo NES. So that's the limit of my knowledge. Like Gary Clark, I recognize that name. Steve Jordan, not the Jordan we're looking for. Drew Hill. Drew was one of those marquee offensive players with the Houston Oilers in Tecmo Super Bowl. The dirty trick, if you were a bad competitor, you would put Drew Hill in at running back, and he was hard to stop. Not as hard to stop as Bo Jackson. Chris Everett, again, there's a nice one. Primetime, the team checklist. I assume that's a team checklist. Yep, there you go. That Vernon Wells art. Here's Dennis Bird. We found Dennis Bird in another pack. Alvin Walton. Dennis Gentry. Simon Fletcher. Is that Weird Eyes? Does he have weird eyes? It could be. Maybe they're retouching football cards too. John L. Williams. And, oh, there we go. Joe Montana. Nice card out of 91 Upper Deck. That multiple exposure, not the one I was necessarily looking for, but still. There you go. Chris Everett, Jim. We got the Montana. All right. Somebody might have seen that on the back of the pack, but I don't think I've ever opened a Joe Montana card before out of a pack. Pretty cool. Hey, I like how they did the football shape of the hologram. That's cool. All right. There's our Joe Montana out of 1991 Upper Deck. Probably the hit of the afternoon. We'll put him on top of the stack there. And we'll do 91 Stadium Club, and then we will wrap up with 89 Tops with another 1,000-yard club specialty. I was told that you can kind of screen the cards on the back. You can kind of identify who the rookie card belongs to. But I don't have that kind of knowledge at a glance to be able to say, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so. I know you can press and kind of read through the film like you can with the baseball cards, but we're going to keep it a surprise. Thank you. Yeah, Joe Montana, nice surprise out of that Upper Deck. I'm going to get some more of that. Upper Deck was fun to open, I'll admit. All right, we talked about Leroy Horde before. And that picture looks really similar. Giant pads for Stadium Club. Didn't we see him though with just the regular tops? I'm gonna have to go back. Where did we see Leroy Horde? Yeah, there he is. Could be the same game. Playing the Jets. Got the same armband on. The giant shoulder pads. All right, so not the exact same photo, but close enough. Tops. Leroy Horde. Leonard Russell. Wearing the Sun Devils. I love the college uniforms. This is awesome. Travis McNeil. Tom Hodson. I know that's the second Tom Hodson card we've gotten today. Robert Massey. Bruce Matthews, Ray Berry, Dan Owens. Gotta believe that that's Dan Owens. Jumbo Elliott. Again, all right. So, all right, 6'7", 305. All right. I'll give him Jumbo. We had William the Refrigerator Perry earlier, and for being called the Fridge, these days, kind of a normal size guy. Kyle Clifton, Seth Joyner, and Keith Jackson in a tight end for your Philadelphia Eagles. All right. We are opening football cards on Junkwax Genius. Normally a baseball card channel, but because we're at halftime of Monday Night Football, we're opening some football cards for everybody's entertainment, my own education, and having a good time. This is enjoyable. 89 tops. Andrew Walton, thank you, Andrew, says, looking for the Michael Irvin rookie card. Senor Lazard used to buy 91 Stadium Club hockey because he loved the card so much, and I don't care about hockey. Had I been able to find more 91 Stadium Club in any sport, I probably would have purchased it too. It was like $6 a pack when I could find it. And, for that money, I could buy 10 packs of 91 score. All right, so here we have, I'll keep the wax as nice as I can. Again, there's the gum. I'm not eating it. No matter what I find, I'm not striking that kind of bargain. I'm not taking your dares. I'm not going to be goaded. There's Drew Hill, Mickey Schuler, Roger Craig, All-Pro, nice. Now, I'm pretty sure the All-Pro is just like a label on the card. It's not like baseball where you have the base card and the All-Star card. I'm pretty sure this is his base card, right? Or does he have a separate base card that doesn't say All-Pro? Curious. Anyway, Roger Craig to go with Joe Montana. Alonzo Highsmith. Montana on the run. Good day for Joe Montana polls. Hey, and look who it is. Chris Everett again. Aaron Cox. Our 1,000-yard clubber is John Settle. Gorgeous Falcons uniforms. Mike Kofer. Brian Bosworth. How about that? The Boz. Okay. In the supplemental draft. How about that? Brian Bosworth. There's Webster Slaughter, again with the giant shoulder pads. Isaac Holt. Donnie Elder. There's John Settle, his base card. Timothy Harris. And Fred Smerlas and his mustache. Okay. So there we go. Some fun cards out of 89 tops. I might have to get more of this. I'm going to have to find a shop with football cards, or at least, mix it up. I've got more Stadium Club. I've got more Ultra. What else do I have? Yeah, I've got some that I'm saving for next week. We'll see how this week goes, and we'll open more next week. But I wanted to get through at least that much football, and we'll keep going with the baseball. We'll save our 87 Donruss. Brian Bosworth was Brian Bosworth's favorite player. I'm 100% sure you're right. I do like to make the comment that when I get Ricky Henderson, that I found Ricky Henderson's favorite player. 1,000% certain that Brian Bosworth liked no one in the league as much as he liked himself. Great comment. I love it. Sorry, I had to pause for a little beverage. Let's do some more 90 score. Fingers crossed still that the Bo Jackson shoulder pads card is in here. Nelson Liriano. Jose Leand, the acrobatic Jose Leand. Gary Sheffield, nice card to get in 1990. Tim Laudner. Darrell Evans. Claudell Washington. I don't think that's Bo Jackson. I think it's one of the playoff cards. No, it's not bad. Our NL MVP in 1987, Andre Dawson. Speaking of Cubs, Ryan Sandberg. In his Dream Team card, there's Matty Williams, Greg Litton, Joe Hesketh, Doug Jones, Dave Gallagher, Scott Bales, Jaime Navarro, Mike Dyer, and rookie card for John Olerud. I recently discovered that he was a giant man, 200 pounds, 6'5". Didn't seem like he should be that tall. All right, it is brought to my attention that the Commanders-Bengals game is back in action, so halftime officially over. But I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you in suspense. We're going to open this 87 Donruss and see if we did get Bo Jackson out of this one. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. When I set this up, I was just a handful of subs away from 1,500. It's an arbitrary number. There's no true benefit to hitting 15 other than it's a nice round number that honestly I never thought I would get to. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do me that favor. John Oler reminds me of Caillou. I'll never be able to unsee that. Oh boy. Thank you for ruining that. All right, 87 Donruss. Jim Presley, Diamond King, Steve Jeltz, Lonnie Smith, Dan Plesac, Dale Murphy, excellent. Manny Trio. I saw somebody, one of the Facebook groups I'm in, just bought the 87 or 89 reverse negative Dale Murphy upper deck card, and overshadowed both Junior in the 89 upper deck set and by Billy Ripken in the 89 Fleer Ultra Fleer, the universe of air cards. But Dale Murphy, solid card, that 89 upper deck reverse negative. Might see if I can find that somewhere. Manny Trio, Jeff Robinson, Dave Kingman, Mike Bilecki. Something seems weird. Jim Sundberg, Bob Dernier, Randy Hunt, Barry Larkin, all right. Steve Trout, and Will Clark. Last pack magic, last card magic. My PC guy, Will Clark. Nice card. Little tiny bit off center, but as we say here on the channel, PC, not PSA. William Nuschler Clark Jr. with the Elvis smile. That's awesome. That is great. What a way to finish. Will Clark and Barry Larkin in the same pack of 87 Donruss. We didn't get the Bo Jackson, but you know what, guys? There's always next week. We'll do this again. We've got more football cards to come. And I don't know. This is fun. Got Joe Montana, got Brian Bosworth, and I had a good time. So thanks for watching. We'll check back next week. In the meantime, every day, 2 packs minimum from the Junk Wax era. Sometimes we'll do shorts as well, sometimes longs. And thanks for watching. Go back to the game, go back to your families, go back to your job, whatever you were doing to distract yourself by watching my live rip. I do appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of it. We'll see you soon again on Junk Wax Genius.